All right, are you ready for a quick SQL tip? You look ready. Let's do it. All right, let's talk about this function here, NULLIF. Okay, NULLIF function. This function here. Okay, so what does this function do? This function, okay, takes two arguments. So you can have value 1 here, and then you have value 2 here. It takes two arguments. So here's how it works. Okay, if value 1 is equal to value 2, this function returns none. Okay, if value 1 is not equal to value 2, this function returns value 1. That's how it works. So for example here, let's do this. Okay, let's add this to the select statement. Okay, so, and let's add a number here. Let's say 20, and here say 25. Okay, as number. So this number is not equal to this number here. So value 1, okay, the argument 1 is not equal to argument 2. So if we run this, what do we get? Notice that we get 20 here. Okay, so because these two values are not equal, the function returns the first value here, which is 20. Okay, so what happens if we change this to 20? Run this. Now it returns none or null. Okay, so that's how this function works. If the first value is equal to the second value, it returns none. Now, how can you use it in a practical sense? All right, let's look at an example here. Okay, quick example. So we have this table here, and we have this days lost column. Okay, so let's say we want to count all the rows where the days lost is not equal to 1. Okay, so we don't want to count 1 here, and obviously we won't count the non-values here. Okay, so we just want to count all the rows where the days lost is not equal to 1. So here's how we can use the NULLIF function. Okay, so we'll say count, and then we'll say NULLIF, and then we'll pass it the days lost column like that, and then we'll pass the second argument as 1. Okay, and we want to return this as count of days lost. Okay, from the table is safety, like that. Okay, so what this function is going to do now is that it will go through every value in this days lost column. If it finds is a 1 here, it will pass 1. Whenever it finds a 1 in the column, it will pass a 1 here. So this means that here we're going to have a 1, and then here we're also going to have a 1. So this NULLIF function is going to return none. Okay, so this means that the count function won't count the none value. Remember, the count function only counts non-null values. So whenever there is a 1 here, this NULLIF function is going to return none. So we won't count these rows that have 1 as the value. Okay, so now if we run this, we get 24 here. Okay, so this is equivalent to us writing, okay, using the where clause. Okay, this query is equivalent to us writing as, you know, count of days lost from safety where days lost is not equal to 1. Okay, if we run this, see, we get 24. So this query here is equivalent to us using the where clause here. We get the same number. Okay, so this is how the NULLIF function works. If this doesn't really make sense to you right now, look at it this way. Okay, this is equivalent to us using a case statement. Okay, using NULLIF here is equivalent to us saying case when, okay, days lost is equal to 1, then new, else days lost. Okay, and okay, so using the NULLIF function is equivalent to this case statement here. Okay, if you can understand what this case statement is doing, then you understand what the NULLIF function is doing. It's basically doing the same thing. Okay, think of it as using a shorthand. Whenever you use a NULLIF statement, you are basically writing a shorthand of this expression here. If we run this, notice that we get the same 24. Okay, so that's how the NULLIF function works. Okay, so with the NULLIF function, if the first argument is equal to the second argument, it returns none. If the first argument is not equal to the second argument, then it will return the first argument. That's how it works. Easy, right? I hope that helps.